Sally was so excited to host a dinner party for her 6 best friends. Sadly, one girl's car broke down. Another friend called to say she was too sick to attend. Sally didn't mind having leftovers from the meal, but she only wanted to make enough dessert for her friends. Last time she had leftover cookies, she got 3 cavities, and her mom was angry. So, since we know 2 friends can't come, we know that 4 out of 6 invited friends are coming. We need to reduce this fraction in order to find out how much of each ingredient to put into the recipe. We need 2/3 of every ingredient in the recipe.
This is Sally's recipe for her famous cookies. Now this recipe feeds 6 people. We need to make this recipe serve 4 people only. So we are going to make 2/3 of this recipe, meaning we have to multiply each ingredient quantity by 2/3. Before we jump right into multiplying these numbers, we need to understand first what multiplying fractions truly means. So to do this, we are going to use a shading model. The first problem we're going to look at is 3/4 times 2/3. With your shading model, you will write one of the fractions on the side, it doesn't matter which one, and that will represent your rows. You're going to divide your box into rows equal to the denominator. So you see the denominator is 4, and we have 4 rows. Next, you're going to shade what the numerator has. Now you'll write the next fraction on the top. So once again, using the denominator as your guide, you will make however many columns as the denominator tells you to. Next, you will shade in what the numerator tells you. The answer to your fraction is going to equal the number that are shaded by both color over the total number of squares you have. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes are shaded with both colors. So our new fraction will be 6 over 1, 2, 11, 12. 6 over 12. And now, since we know that 6/12 is the product of 3/4 and 2/3, we are going to reduce to get it into its lowest form. We want to divide by a number equal to 1 that goes into both the numerator and denominator. So our final answer is 1/2. We're going to do one more problem with the shading model. So this problem will be 1/2 times 2/3. Now let's count how many individual squares are shaded by both the pink and the blue markers. In this case, 1, 2 squares are shaded. So our answer will be 2 over, and then to get the denominator, we're going to count the total number of boxes in the square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total boxes. So our answer will be 2 over 6. The shaded model method is great, but it's not practical to use for every single time we need to solve one of these problems. So let's take another look at our equations to see if we can come up with a rule. So if we look again, I'm just going to recopy our original problem. And this over here was our original answer, 6/12. Now if we look at this, we can see that 3 times 2 gives us 6, and 4 times 3 gives us 12. And we could use the same reduction method as we did here, the answer of 1/2. But before we decide that's really a rule, let's go ahead and try it on the second example. Our second example was 1/2 times 2/3. 1 times 2 gives us 2, and 2 times 3 gives us 6. Now we'll see that this is the exact same thing that we got when we did the box method. The exact same answer of 1/3. So our rule for multiplying fractions is top times the top and the bottom times the bottom.
Multiplying fractions, not a problem. The top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. Multiplying fractions, not a problem. The top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. Multiplying fractions, not a problem. The top times the top and the bottom times the bottom.
Now that we have our rule, let's apply it to Sally's recipe so we can help her make her cookies.
So for our first number, we have 2/3. And we already decided earlier that we want to multiply everything in this recipe by 2/3. So using our rule that we just learned, we're going to multiply the top times the top, which is 2 times 2, which equals 4, and 3 times 3, which equals 9. So it is 4/9 cup of butter. For our next one, we have 1.5 cups of flour. Now this is a mixed number, so we need to do our rules that we've already learned to turn our mixed number into an improper fraction. So 2 times 1 plus 1 is going to equal 3/2. Then we can multiply this times 2/3. So top times the top is going to equal 6. And the bottom times the bottom is also going to equal 6, which when we reduce, we know is going to be 1. So we have 1 cup of flour.
Top times 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 times. Top times 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 times. Top times 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 times. Top times times top times top. Bottom times bottom top. Top times top. Bottom times bottom top. Top times top. Bottom times.
The last ingredient is our cherry preserves. We need 1/3 for our original recipe times 2/3 gives us 2/9 again. So we need 2/9 cups of cherry preserves.
Now that we've multiplied all of our measurements by 2/3, we have Sally's brand new recipe that she can use to make cookies for her 4 friends. Too bad Sally doesn't get to eat any cookies because her mom said no.